question for free to ask.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Let's get back together and we hear Seema's story. All right.
Yes, yeah.
Woohoo! Okay. So let's.
We're gonna go Seema
Okay.
first. I'm gonna have you interview Seema.
So yeah, we have a wonderful story I would like to share. Seema is one of the best investor in town. That she do amazing things. I wanna hear. Everyone wanna hear her story, right? Yeah. Okay. Seema, wanna go up here? Or
I'll
wanna
just
sit or
stand
you wanna
here.
stand up?
I'll
Okay.
just stand.
Stand up. Okay. Good. All right, Seema. You got the video. Okay, good.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Thuy. Here's Seema, one of my best clients now. Get ready to help her and
Hi
others.
everyone.
Johnny. All right, Seema, can you tell us how how do you start like all this journey?
All right. So I'm from India, New Delhi, and I came to US back in 2003.
2003.
And I started my first job at $7.25
Oh.
on a jewelry counter in Pittsburgh. And then I happened to, my brother was there, so I came to visit him. And then I applied for all the colleges,
Yeah.
and then I got a interview call from my Bellevue Community College at that time.
Yeah.
So I came here to Seattle. It was just destined, I think. So then I studied, and in 2006 and 7, I started interviewing for jobs, and I got my first job in Lake Washington Institute of Technology in Kirkland as a dental teacher. So
Oh,
I was
wow.
teaching dental hygiene and dental assisting.
Wow.
I started doing tenureship, and I became a tenured faculty, youngest in the college in 2009.
Mm.
And that was the first time when I knew, okay, I have a secure job where I cannot get fired for the rest of my life till I retire.
Yes.
So this is the time to maybe buy a house. I have a sense of security now.
Okay.
I don't know how many of you can relate to, but I think many of you can relate. I was on H-1B visa, which is a work visa. So I just bought a house. And that was the time I got lucky at $305,000 was my first house I bought in Bothell. And I was scared. I did not know anything about real estate. I did not know R of real estate. I did not know G of good faith estimates. I did not know how to go for getting a loan. Nothing whatsoever.
Right.
What is the difference between pre-qualification and pre-approval? Nothing. I had no knowledge whatsoever. But I knew I was living in Bellevue apartment. I was paying $1,300 rent.
Okay.
And when I started working with one of the, just Googled a agent, and I just
Google agent.
Google agent, and I just found wonderful agent.
Yeah.
She showed me, I don't know, 50 houses. I did not know difference between condo, townhome, rambler, single family
Yeah.
home. No clue whatsoever.
Mhm.
So I got educated during that first home buying process. I might have seen 50 houses.
50.
Yeah.
Good number.
So I end up buying the very first one, and the very first time when I had to write on my, I don't know, $2,000 earnest money check,
Uh-huh.
I was scared. I'm like,
Yeah.
is it gonna come back if I don't buy the house?
Right.
I was that scared.
Yeah.
But she said, yes, it's gonna be only cashed out when you are a mutual contract or it's final. Anyways, long story short, fast forward, in 2009 was my first house, and I was just tenured, so I was paying full attention to my full-time job, nothing else I was doing. 2012, I started seeing a lot of houses getting sold in on my street. And I started getting curious what's going on. So I like to buy a second home at that time and see, if the market is good. But I couldn't buy because my lending capacity was not great.
Okay.
Because I just was making, at that time, $45,000 a year from my job.
Right.
And but that thing was in my mind. I started looking for different avenues. How can I make more money? I started renting. Being single here, did not mind having my common space shared with other people. Was renting single rooms in my house to Indians only. At that time, I felt safe being single woman, having only Indians in my house. So I started renting single rooms. My mortgage was for that house was $1,700, and there came a point where I was making $4,200 from that house and me staying for free.
Wow. Incredible.
That's awesome.
So that was a cash cow.
Right.
It was.
And in 2007, 2016, from
Okay.
2012 thinking process, 2016 is
later.
when
Mm-hmm.
I was able to go in the market again with my first real estate agent. She showed me few houses. At that time I was a little bit, known, what I'm doing. At that time, I found a house which was a bankruptcy. The very first house I bought was a bank-owned house
Okay.
with a Wells Fargo, HELOC, and all that, was going
Right.
on. Second house was a bankruptcy house. Family has done the bankruptcy. Trustees were in the market. So that house, I fell in love with 10-foot ceiling, spiral staircase, and all that. I was so fixated on that house. I end up seeing many houses after that, but I wanted to always see if that house is sold or not.
Uh-huh.
My agent was saying, no, you're wasting your time. This family for last 4 years, they are going in the market, showing the people that they are trying to sell, but they're not going to sell it to you. I'm like, I don't need a second house. I know if I'm going to have a second house, this is going to be it. So she knew I'm adamant. So I ended up buying that house at $480,000
Where is it?
in Bothell itself.
Bothell.
My favorite zip code 98012. I
Oh,
bought many
912.
houses in that
Yeah.
zip code.
Not 1-2.
Yeah, 98012. That house I bought at $480,000. Just to tell you, fast forward, that house I just sold last year at 1.15 million
Wow.
in
Incredible.
4 years.
4 years.
In 4
Oh,
years.
gosh. Yes.
You wouldn't make that money anywhere else.
Mhm.
So 2016, I have 2 houses now.
Yes.
So the first house became rental and second house I moved into.
Oh, wow.
It was gorgeous home. I wanted to enjoy. Now I thought I have done enough hard work in my life to come to a point where I can enjoy $1 million home kind of
Yeah.
a thing. So, and this is all happening when I have my full-time job,
Mhm.
where I don't even have a single minute to check my phone. You start 7 a.m. and you finish at 7 p.m. There's no time in between.
12 hours.
Nothing in between I can do. Because I'm teaching in the classroom, I can't check my phone.
Right.
It's in my purse. During lunch hour, I'm with my colleagues to just have some bonding of department and understanding the politics and understanding student dynamics. I didn't have any time to do business. What I found out is I am doing business only in my evening hours and on weekends. That's all.
Yeah.
And it was not difficult to manage because people were living in my house, single rooms. And when I bought another house, it was like few blocks away. So it was easy to go and check my rental. So managing 2 houses was not difficult. And during that same process, I thought how I grow, not just financially, but literacy wise, how can I make myself better?
Right.
So I started doing my doctorate because I think everybody has 24 hours and everybody has some potential, how to make that maximized. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna do doctorate, which is the terminal degree, I'm gonna do that. So I started my doctorate from GCU while doing my full-time job, while managing my rental.
Wow.
I started doing education.
Wow.
Now in 2017 is where my life changed and I became, I think, probably real estate, bug in the sense
Bug.
is,
Ooh.
yeah, 2017 I sold my first house I bought in 2009.
Okay.
That's where that was just purely to test the waters. I
Okay.
didn't mean to sell it. I'm like, okay, let's just clean the house. It gives me an excuse to clean the house. Renters, okay, I'm gonna have everything cleaned up. You keep your personal belongings in one corner in the closet. I'm gonna do the open house. I gave them gift cards to just Saturday, Sunday, just go out, lunch and movies, and then I did the open house while they were in the house. And
So-
because I did not want to sell it, I just wanted to test the waters.
Test the market. Yep.
And then what happened is I told my agent I'm okay to sell because last year it was $420,000 showing on Zillow Just Estimates. So I was happy. 305, now it's 420, great. But then we put it in the market for 490 or something. The very first Saturday we got an offer of 555
Wow.
Incredible.
with 24
That's
hours
crazy.
of expiry.
Just testing.
Just
Yeah,
test it.
just testing
Just test
orders.
it.
I'm
Yeah.
like, okay,
Yeah.
let's take it.
Never
Yeah,
hurts to
take it.
test.
Let's take it. So I made $250,000 on that house with zero investment, zero renovations, nothing. I did not do
Wow.
anything
Just holding.
to that house, just holding,
Yeah.
making $4,200 on a $1,700 mortgage,
Mm.
me staying for free.
Beautiful.
So that was a cash cow. My family was mad at me. Why you selling? It's a cash cow. I'm like, I'm okay to just invest this money somewhere else. So here I am selling that property. Now I got that money and I put into buying another house in 98012 zip code again. And that was 1980 house, 1980 built. Up these all houses were 2005, 6, 7 built houses. But I wanted to experiment and see what does it take to, do bigger renovations, gut it out or something like that. If I want to go into real estate, I want to just get all the parts of the puzzle. So I bought this 1980 house intentionally to learn how to do the renovations. I bought in the process. I interviewed some contractors. Some contractors took $17,000, did nothing. Someone took $25,000, did nothing. But that's the part of the game. You learn. It's not textbook knowledge. You do it and you learn it.
Yeah.
It burned me really bad, but I learned the lesson that you do not, get the cheapest deal. You go for, quality. So I end up getting a good contractor who renovated the whole house while I was staying. It was not duplex. It was a split level.
Okay.
So I was staying downstairs while renovations are getting upstairs.
Smart. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I don't mind. I'm at work all day and workers are not working in the evening. As long as I don't have any dust in my area, I'm fine. So I maximize that rental, and every time I did, any new house I bought, I made it up a primary home.
Nice.
I
Primary.
always moved there.
Or we move to the home. Yeah, to your home.
Right now at this point, my assistants, they tell me, you are a millionaire who's a nomad, because I don't mind moving. I just go wherever it takes me.
Flexible, huh?
I'm very flexible.
Yes.
It's just few computers, a few of my clothing,
So
and
close.
just
Let's
go there.
go.
That's it.
Go.
It doesn't bug me, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
And yes, you love your house while you buy it, and you stay it, and you love every part of it. But I feel house is a commodity. I don't feel it is something that $480,000 home which I bought, I thought that's gonna be my retirement home. But when I put in the market, it sold at 1.15 million. I'm like, sell it. It's okay. I can buy $1 million home somewhere else, much better than this maybe, which can be my retirement home.
Right. Okay.
So I just sold that one. But fast forward, so since 2017, I've been selling, buying every year.
Wow. Every year.
Every year, one house I was doing, that was my 2017 to 2020. But in 2020, I sold 2 houses, bought 2 houses. 21, sold 2 houses, bought 2 houses. And all this duration, I was doing 1031 exchange. I am getting so the very first house from 2009 to 2017, I made $250,000 in 8 years. Equity, whatever capital gain was in 8 years. But in 2019 December, I bought a house at $575,000 in 9801 zip code, and I sold in 15 months at $300,000 capital gain in 1 year.
Wow.
Where I made $500,000, $250,000 in 8 years.
8 years.
So my comfort zone was getting better and better. Risk taking capacity was getting better and better. I knew what I'm doing, kind of a thing. I just went with my gut feeling. When is the right time to buy? I look for distressed properties. I am not an expert, but I feel I am expert in my own on my own risk taking capacity. I can go for it. So my very expensive house in 2021 was $675,000. Before that, I was buying everything below $500,000. Okay? Nothing was above that. So, but when I bought that house, I was scared of what I'm doing. This is really scary zone. But just I'm gonna go back to that house, $480,000. My pride. That house I bought in 2017 when I was here in this country for after 10 years of my job, starting from 2006. I scratched every single penny I had. I sold all my stocks, gold stocks, precious metal, Roth IRA. I was putting away $6,500 every year, maxed out my retirement funds. I did not touch my retirement funds, but I took all my FDs, immature, whatever I invested in India. My agent was asking, I need $63,000 cash down because $25,000 was a court fee because it was a bankruptcy trustee thingy going on. So I thought, okay, I can see if I have a 63,000. I was happy. Oh, I have 63,000. I never knew I have a $63,000 sitting. But when I calculated, I diversified it so much. When I calculated on a table, I did have that much money. But by the time this all negotiation was going, it came out to be $100,000. Every time there was some increase, 5,000 here, 10,000 there. I'm like, Cindy, I cannot possibly buy this house. Let it go. I know I'm invested in this house for last 5 months with banks and lenders and this and that. Family did not want to move out. They even broke the agent lock. So she had to involve the police. She didn't tell me that. I'm like, what is the delay? What is going on? So ultimately, I had to come up with $100,000. So that 5 months, I was able to make more rentals on my own rental houses too. So I was amazed. I was surprised that I did have $100,000 liquid cash, which I never imagined I do. But I was at such a difficult spot where I felt like I'm still on H-1B visa.
Okay.
I'm still on work visa. I am still at a risk of going back to my home country.
Wow.
And for last 10 years, whatever I made, I am putting in one house. It's like you're putting all your eggs in one basket. What are you doing?
Yeah.
But I had the gut feeling it's the house I want to buy, and it's a good investment.
Right.
I did that, and then I knew every time I do this kind of thing, my financial cycle is like I come to zero, I will rebuild it. I come to zero, I rebuild up. Yeah, and then I know when I am at zero, I know I have to zip my mouth. I don't have to go to different restaurants. I don't have to go,
Stay
expensive. Stay low. Just
Stay humble.
manage. Yeah, just stay humble.
Stay humble, yeah.
Yeah. So, and it scares some. It's scary when you're all the money is going zero. But if you have a mindset that you can build it up, how you gonna build it? Have some strategies. So my strategy is always my rentals. Where I was renting a room for $600, $700 a night. A month. I was able to rent it for $1,200 a month. I just increase my revenue that way. I get more firm. And earlier I was scared to ask even $700 a month. Oh, this person is not gonna pay me, or this person is gonna go away. Now if I have somebody asking me $1,000, I'm like, no, nothing is less than $1,200. Sorry. So I know what I'm giving to my people, and my conviction is better in that sense.
Right.
So this was a single room story which I did for almost 10 years, and I thought, I know the formula. I am really good. I am making like $4,000 on a $2,000 home. Where are you gonna get this money? But fast forward right now, I'm at the place I don't do single rooms anymore. I have these many properties all the way from Marysville all the way to Maple Valley.
That's her properties. You see?
These
How
are
many you have?
40 plus.
40 plus.
40 plus property, not all my own properties. My own properties, I have house in Marysville, which I bought a $500,000. I bought a house in Snohomish at $675,000, which I'm planning to sell at $1.1 million. My other house I bought at $1.065 duplex on a 5-acre land. And then I bought one house at $1.275 in Seattle, which is a triplex. So every house has equity built on it, more than $250,000. So but then I found my niche is this rental Airbnb, because I was doing my own houses as an Airbnb. So, but it is a time-consuming thing. Create ads, marketing, answer the and manage the properties and everything. Having a team of plumbers, electricians, landscapers, and all that. But now I was working full-time during all this process I'm telling you.
Really?
I was working full-time, doing my doctorate, doing my education, and this is just as a side gig. This was all like part-time side gig.
Seema, let me ask you this.
She had a lot of time.
How much extra time do you need to put into this? Like, are you working full-time now, or are you doing real estate full-time?
I'm working full-time real estate now.
Okay, good. Okay.
How
Just
much
real
time do you put in a day now with these rental properties that you have?
Oh, no, almost for rental properties, nothing much.
Or the Airbnb industry?
Yeah.
Not that
Once
much.
you rent them, once you stage
you
them,
have a
market
system?
them, and then you have a customer in there. My customers usually are 6 to 8 months on average. I barely hear from them 6 to 8 times during 6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
Once they are there, money goes to my bank and that's it.
Okay, so you're renting them out 6 to 8 months at a time
Mhm.
on the Airbnb platform?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
I don't do weeklies, I don't do dailies, I don't do three days minimum, nothing like that. Mine, every property is more than 30 days.
Yeah.
Even though I have a short-term rental certificate, which is less than 30 days, but I don't prefer doing that. It's just too much of work for me. Personally, I'm talking about me. I know some people love doing a weekly or, only few of my properties, like my Snohomish house, which is on a 5-acre land, that I have 3-day minimum because I know, or 2 days minimum, I think, because people can do the weddings there, retreats there, birthday parties, and they can just have loud music. No neighbor is close by. So that I do that way. But nothing else I do less than 30 days. And more so my people are 3 to 6 months minimum, and they keep on extending. So that's how I found my niche. And then this year, I was in India for 6 months with my family, and I was still able to manage all these 40 properties from there.
That's incredible.
That's amazing.
And I added 7 properties while I was in India.
Yeah.
Adding 7 more.
All right.
Right?
Nobody could believe it that I added 7, and I able to furnish them, market them, get the photographs, and manage them. And I did not do myself that I can do all this until I just kept doing it.
Right. Yeah.
That's incredible, Seema.
Incredible.
Well, Seema, thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Why don't we give
Yeah.
Seema a hand?
Yeah.